good afternoon.
Good
Welcome to
afternoon.
my Confessions with Coach K. I appreciate you coming here today. What a warm day. There's no aircon here, but I think we should survive. You both look amazing on high definition, so
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you once again because you guys, I know you're busy. You got schools to run, and I've known you guys for almost 30 years now. You were my first coaches and mentors, and I think this is like my last show. I've got another hour to do, maybe some other time, but I wanted to end with two of my coaches that taught me, and I think somewhere along the line, maybe that seed that was planted in me made me become a coach that I am today, and learning from you guys as well. I wanted to introduce yourselves first of all, see what you guys do. I know you are both a martial arts instructor and had an amazing journey to where you are now. So I will leave it up to you guys. Master Benfield, I believe you're a seventh dan, so I'll let you start first.
Oh, thank you. So just as full disclosure
Yeah.
here, so if I reference you as Mr. Lakhani, it's
Yeah,
because you're a black
of
belt.
course.
And on my left here is Master Hugh Harper.
Yeah.
Again, we've been training colleagues from
80s.
since the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if I call him Master Harper, it's
Yeah.
because he's my good friend,
Yeah,
and also out of a level of respect as a
Yeah.
martial artist as well. So you won't catch me calling him Hugh.
Yeah.
You won't catch me calling you
Absolutely.
Kapil. But so
Thank
if
you.
those listening to the podcast hear it and think the formality, it's only
Yeah.
just because we're all martial artists, we're all black belts, third
Yeah.
degree. Master Harper is a 6th-degree black belt, and I'm a 7th-degree black belt. So
Sang. We could use the word Pilsang as well.
oh yes,
Certain victory, I guess, right?
absolutely
Yeah,
yes.
How long have you been doing Choi Kwando? And you did something else before there as well, I believe.
Yeah, so I started off in Taekwondo,
Yeah,
ITF Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Our instructor was Grandmaster Marshall Pereira.
Yeah.
Well, at the time, he was a 3rd-degree black belt, just recently got promoted to his 4th degree.
Okay.
So he was our Taekwondo instructor. We trained in Wembley,
Yeah.
the Church of Ascension, Preston Road.
That's right,
Together.
yeah.
That's where I met Master Harper.
Yeah.
And so, we started in ITF Taekwondo. Then it was the 10th of April, 1988. That's when we met the founder of Choi Kwando, Grandmaster Kwangjo Choi. And since then, we've been training Choi Kwando all those years.
Wow, that's many years. How old is he now, Grandmaster Choi? Must
He's
be
80,
82.
yeah, 82
Doesn't
years
look it.
old.
When I see his videos, it still looks amazing. I know, yeah.
Absolutely.
And how about you, Master Harper?
So similar timeline
Yeah.
to Master Banfield. Started in the 80s, 86 I started
Yeah,
in Taekwondo.
yeah,
And then we converted over to Choi Kwando 88. But then I also had time to study different styles of martial arts.
yeah,
And I think the encouragement also came from our leaders at the time,
yeah,
Grandmaster Choi and Roger Koo, who took it upon themselves when we left the original Taekwondo organization to bring in these other masters from other styles of martial arts, which then piqued my interest to understand fully what other styles had to offer.
Yeah.
It's all well and good someone telling you, that car's no good or this, that, and there. You want to try it for yourself.
of course, yeah,
And whereas, I mean, all martial arts are pretty much the same. Striking martial arts are all pretty much the same. But the common factor that they all have is the injury factor, which I found reduced drastically in Choi Kwando because of the way Grandmaster Choi had designed it and developed it with the body in mind. It made sense and to just continue with that. We did competition. It was fun, but it's not something that you can make money from. But you can now if you get into UFC and all that. But it speeds up the aging process. It reduces your shelf life. And you sustain a hell of a lot of injuries. And I don't like getting hurt.
Yeah, of course, yeah. The whole point is to
Do you know
be
what I mean?
alive and to be well and to be mobile when you're older.
Yeah, no. And in those days, entering tournaments, and I think anyone that's on the tournament circuit now, all it is a gold medal.
Yeah,
And it's accolade, and you're doing it for accolade, but it's personal accolade, and it's a vanity, and it didn't necessarily sit well with me, even though I was quite boastful and a bit of a showman. Then, now when you think about it, it was fun at the time. But my real purpose for doing martial arts was so that I never had to get into a situation. If I did, and even now, if I ever do, I know how to handle myself if it comes. But the first thing that we teach is to get out of there, to avoid it.
Yeah.
You're more aware of your
course.
surroundings,
Yeah,
and you're more tuned in
Yeah.
to the environment around you.
Mm.
So then you just know to like, right, get out of that,
Yeah.
diffuse that. Simple.
I don't know if it's one of you guys who said to me when we were learning Choi Kwando days, you're learning how to fight, so you don't have to fight.
Yes.
I think it was like a statement made that, you know, you're aware of things and you can handle the situation verbally if you can, rather than getting physically involved in it.
Yes.
But you can see nowadays online, now you can see all different kinds of martial arts, guys just, you know, kicking, punching, all ripped and looking very good. And they're selling their style, the art. But very rarely, you know, I see people who talk about integrity and all that kind of stuff and not talking about, like you said, you know, how not to fight even though you've got the skills. It's all about who wins and gold medal, all that kind of stuff. How would you, when someone comes to your school, Master Ben, for example, a child, and they say, I want to win, I want to beat everyone up or whatever, how would you handle that?
Yeah, well, martial arts teaches you to be a winner in life.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what it is,
yeah,
really.
yeah.
You don't win by beating somebody else.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's always going to be someone better
Yeah.
than you. And you're not competing against the whole world neither. So it's more, I understand like how martial arts is marketed and what people are looking for, because they see like maybe the Ultimate Fighting Championships, they see these full contact competitions and they think that's the way to go forward.
Yeah.
But really it's about the development of yourself.
Absolutely,
If I'm really honest, what happens is going back to the quote that you said, like martial arts is really not about fighting, but learning how not to fight.
yeah.
And how we teach the students how not to fight is by using this.
Yeah.
Use the brain first instead of the
Absolutely.
hands, because peace is more important than punches any day of the week.
Yeah.
Anybody can fight. Our job as instructors,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Master Harper will concur with this, is we're not teaching the students how to fight. Why? As Gandhi said, an eye for an eye, and very soon the whole world would be blind.
Yeah.
So that's not our goal, and that's not my focus there. And even if you look at like competition fighters as well, at the top end, do you think they really like to go into the ring and receive all of these blows, these punches, these kicks and strikes? It's not nice. Martial arts isn't easy, and it's not fun, and especially if you're performing like that. But and at that level, but also the bigger picture is then, like you said, what quality of life will you have after you stop competing?
This is the thing, when you're older, how you're living your life then.
Exactly. And Grandmaster Choi, his philosophy is martial arts is supposed to promote longevity and good health.
Yeah.
But if it's detrimental, if the practice is detrimental to your health, then what are you doing? Health
course,
is wealth.
Yeah,
Without good health, what can we do?
Yeah.
So when parents, like, actually you asked an interesting question. When once I had a parent bring their son to me, and the son was getting bullied at school. So I understand like the situation and the need for the father to not see his son get hurt.
Yeah.
And so, but he wanted me to teach his son the death touch, so that if anybody touched him or troubled him, he could just permanently disable them.
Yeah.
And I said, well, sir, I can't really teach that. I don't know that move anyhow.
Yeah.
But I can teach your son how to have the confidence, how to spot the signs of conflict,
Yeah.
and take the necessary action.
Yeah.
And that was enough. And his son did well. He became a black belt in our school, and he did very, very well in that respect. So always, if parents ask me, can I teach your son to fight? My first line will be, I'm going to teach them how not to fight.
Yeah.
How to develop the skills where they can have that confidence and belief in themselves. And that all starts from the body language.
Yeah.
Like your body says something about you every moment.
Absolutely.
And so if we can give them those skills, build up the confidence from the inside out, that's what's going to make them strong.
Yeah, I also think when they come to your schools as well, there's time they spend, an hour and a half, whatever, you know, the respect they have, the skills they learn, how they respect the senior ranking instructors. They learn a lot of good morals as well in their class. But then when they leave that dojo, when they leave that school, they go back in the environment where these things are not being practiced. And sometimes I find they're in a conflict. Should I carry on living this kind of skills I've learned from my dojo, what Master Penfield or Master Harper has taught me? Because I've got this 80% of my time around people who don't practice this. How do they kind of find that way to balance it? Because it's so difficult for young people especially.
Yeah, well, the thing that you've touched on there is a really important point, because the initial question is, if someone comes to your class and they want to learn how to fight, it's where did you get this idea from? Because I know from looking online and what have you, especially those that do full contact, advocate that you cannot call yourself a warrior until you have faced battle.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, I would agree. If we were living in a society where we were day to day having to fight like that,
Yeah.
we are encouraging that if we do that.
Yeah.
But we don't want to encourage that sort of.
Yeah.
Now, yes, it's living in London. There is a knife crime epidemic.
Yeah.
There is an issue. But I do believe if you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas.
Yeah.
Now, that might sound harsh, but if you are in that environment,
Yeah.
if you are mixing with that crowd,
Yeah.
then you are going to suffer the consequences of it.
Yeah.
This might not be 100% true,
Yeah.
but the majority of the people that are in that environment are the ones that are getting caught up in it. It could be hard to extract yourself from that. So I don't want to digress from the point we're trying to make here. The fact of the matter is, being what our job when they come into our class is to show them the champion that they are.
Yeah.
We don't feed them a false narrative. We don't lure them into a false sense of thinking and say, yeah, you can fight. We tell them this is the reality of life. If it comes on top, it comes on top. This is what you've got to do. When there's no other option left, when your life is in danger, when there is no get out, then you have to fight for your life. That's what being a true warrior is about.
Yeah.
And being able to survive that. Going into a ring, going toe to toe, that is a battle of the wills.
Yeah.
And it's not down to the style of martial arts. Yeah. And as much as I love Choi Kwando, I would not go into the ring. As you know, I believe in it 100%. I would not go into the ring with anyone saying, oh, I'm going to test out my skill, because I don't know whether his will is greater than mine. Yeah. And if his desire to beat me is greater than mine. My desire is to be alive. Yeah. And that's when I know that I cannot be beaten. I will not be beaten. If you're looking on that. I have no desire to hurt this person. There is not enough money in the world, because it means that we're both going to have to suffer injury. And I take my hat off to the UFC fighters, the Ultimate Fighter, or anyone doing. I take my hat off to you. You've got my ultimate respect. You don't need to ask me, come on then, let's battle. No, you win. You win. Well done, champion. Yeah, hold that. But all I know is that I can walk good, I can stand upright, and when I'm 55, looking young and feeling healthy and good, are you going to feel the same at my age?
I remember in 90s and early 2000, most people our age, when we were in the 20s and 30s, they knew the names of boxers.
Yes.
You know, now some of the names they tell me, they're UFC fighters, MMA. I haven't heard of them. So when the boxing has taken a backstage compared to MMA and UFC, it's all glorified violence in a way. And I don't know why it's still the dominant sport, because people want to see other people get beaten up. And I've never understood that. And we already have problems in the world. So why do you want to watch this?
Because, can I come in there? Because you know what it is? It's like man has consciousness. And we are playing, when we play that game of this violence, now we're playing to the base levels of man. And so an animal behaves according to its nature. Animals will fight, but not just for the sake of fighting, but if they need to protect
territory.
Territory.
But human beings, we have a higher level of consciousness, but we're not living up to that level of consciousness. So we go to this base level thing where we want to be hurting one another, and it proves nothing. Like Master Harper just touched on the aspect of will. Like, and in a fight, it's like the stronger will. Both, imagine two practitioners trained exactly the same way, but all full, complete round martial artists. Everything is the same. When that fight comes on, it's the will. And martial arts develops that will. And like, as you mentioned earlier, that Pilsung spirit, that unbreakable spirit, we all have it. But now, when you're in a fight situation like the UFC, and you're fighting for a championship, a belt, for money, it's now whose will is going to be stronger. And the will, maybe you have to break that person's arm, you have to break their leg, you have to knock them out. That's not the nature of man, is it?
No.
Like, man should be like more considerate, more understanding, more compassionate, have that love there. Like, when I hurt another person at the highest level, I'm hurting myself. Because I am you and you are me, and we are all one. There is no difference, none whatsoever. So what you do to another person, you're doing to yourself. And again, the other aspect is that we drop to this kind of base animalistic level, and it's a part of the brain. It's how the brain evolved is you have the reptilian brain, and that was fight, flight, eat, sleep, survival. Okay, then you had next development was the mammalian brain, more caring. compassion. And then you have the neocortex, like the third development.
Tri-union of the brain. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then you have that development, higher level thinking. But what happens is this, and you'll see it in the UFC fights, is this. When they go into the ring, first of all, they're all psyched up.
Yeah.
The physiology, everything changes.
Yeah.
And then they go in and it's like, now I've got to either dominate or be dominated.
Yeah, yeah.
So this reptilian brain is kicking in. Yeah. And then whoever wins, they break, submit, whatever it is, they win. And then all of a sudden, the neocortex comes back in, and then they're all compassionate. You see them, they hug each other, they kiss. Yeah. And even sometimes you see if they've knocked the person out, they're very concerned. Their senses come back to them. Yeah. And then they go and they hug the person, look after them to see. And so it's really glorified kind of violence in a way. And like Master Harper said, I have the utmost respect for these fighters because the training is hard.
It's a sport,
They dedicate themselves to
unbelievable.
it.
Unbelievable.
But it just doesn't resonate with me in my heart, and I couldn't teach that to my students.
And the thing is, I love punching and kicking. It's hard to understand when you say, I love, well, what? Well, no, I don't necessarily love punching, or I don't mind sparring, light sparring a bit, because it's a bit of fun. I know it's not serious. And I love punching and kicking, the focus mitt and the punch bag. I love all of that because that's my way of letting out that aggression. And when we say animalistic, we're not calling our fellow humans animals. So in case anyone says, oh, they're being... No, it's not that. It's just the behaviour of the thought process behind it. We don't need to, but for entertainment.
Likes on Instagram.
And and you can go back for many, many hundreds of years, centuries, that this has always been, been an arena. People are fighting and there's a prize. And, you know,
gladiators.
The gladiators, right? So the person that wins at the end is the man that holds the arena. Your Dana White. Your Don King's, rest his soul if he's still alive. I don't even know where he is. But anyhow, what's his name? Hearn.
Hitman Hearn.
No. Who's AJ's promoter?
Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn. Yeah. Those are the real winners. Those are the real winners. Because they're sitting there, they're setting it all up. Go in, my man. You're doing good, mate. You're doing good. You did a good fight. Yeah. But you look at the purse. And how much of that he's collecting. And he's a brilliant fighter. Of course he is. He's the best fighter in the world for you. Because he's making you a lot of money. You know, but we can't all be promoters. And it is for entertainment. And I personally am not going to be a performer in that circus.
And just nice, what you touched on there was that the aspect of the gladiators. So back in the days when the gladiators are fighting, they are fighting for their freedom. They want to be free. It's no different now. We haven't progressed because now what are they fighting for? Financial freedom and independence. So where's the progression? And just for us to clap and cheer them on? No.
Even that financial freedom that they're getting is still not enough.
No.
They acquire more wealth. You know, conquer more stuff as well. The wars going on in the world as well. It's just like, when are you going to stop? Because it's just harming everyone.
We have to put a ceiling on your desires. A man has to know himself.
Of course,
Otherwise, the desires are just endless. You're just going to keep chasing.
The more you get, the more you want.
Absolutely,
you know? And the bigger the price. I mean, Francis Ngannou went from... was it 600,000, 60,000? I don't know what it was. So many thousand in his UFC to earning millions in his first boxing. You know, and then his follow-up. So the more you get, the more you want. It's just, of course, you know.
And you're going to have that lifestyle as well. So
sorry,
that lifestyle you're going to have with the money, big house, cars, and holidays, and all that kind of stuff. So.
But really,
I praise them for it because, you know, they've worked hard for it and they earn it. So I'm not hating on that.
See, but where we're going to, I think, with this is ultimately what they're seeking is happiness. Is happiness. That's what they're seeking.
If I have this, and
But happiness is not something external. Happiness starts from within. And if you don't go within, you're going to go without.
Of course.
So you need to go within and find this thing that you're seeking, really. And that's what will happen is, like, these individuals, they can buy, maybe if they're really wealthy, they can buy whatever they want. They can have anything that they like. But the one thing that's empty or void is that happiness that they're seeking, they're trying to fill within. And they need to find that.
Of course, and only they can find it, I guess.
No one else can do it for you.
You probably will notice on my previous episodes when they come out, I normally bring books on every show. They're kind of related to people I interview and I speak to. And today I brought the book A Hero's Journey. It was kind of quite fitting well because in a way, people have come into my life who've changed my path of life as well, like you guys, mentors, coaches, friends, families. Everyone has a hero. So when you were growing up, before you did Taekwondo and Choikwan, who were your heroes and how did you get into martial arts?
All right. So, okay, I started
yeah.
martial arts, not because I really wanted to, but actually my brother, and I would say my older brother, Peter, you know, he's like my hero to me. Obviously, my father and my mother are there.
Yeah.
But my older brother, he was the one that introduced me to martial arts because he started it.
Okay.
And then he said, look, would you like to come and try it?
Yeah.
And so he took myself and my younger brother, Stephen.
Yeah.
And so we went to the martial arts classes. And not because I wanted to know how to fight, because I was a fighter in school anyhow. And I never even used to fight for myself. I used to fight for other people. So when I trained the martial arts, what happened is it really kind of took my energy levels from being like, I would say like a hothead, just calmed me right down to the point where I really don't like violence. And that's why I always say like martial arts is about peace, and peace is more important than punches. And if we can resolve a situation amicably, that's the best thing we can do. So in a way, my older brother, Peter, is a hero to me, definitely, because he started me on this journey. And it's a journey that I know I will stay for the rest of my life on, and I'm ever grateful because even when he stopped training, he would look after me and he would keep paying for my tuition fees and my brother to go to the classes.
When did he stop training? Or was
he stopped when he got to yellow belt green tag in Taekwondo.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so a long time ago.
Wow, okay.
There. But then, he paid for myself and my younger brother to
so
carry
he
on going.
basically brought you in that journey and then he just left you there.
Exactly,
yeah.
And sometimes that's how it happens, you know. You maybe don't start off on it, and I've seen it many times where best friends have come, and one person wanted to do it more than the other, and then the person that wanted to do it the most has kind of just gone, and the person that's now supporting is there, and they've made a career out of it.
There's the will.
There's the will. Yeah. Do you think it's normally families or friends that are our heroes, or school teachers, or somebody that you see on the big screen that makes a hero, like, you know, I want to follow him or become like him?
It can be both. I mean, for me, initially it was my dad.
Yeah.
My dad's a builder, and growing up in the 70s, there was a lot of racism.
Yeah.
And I must have been about 6 or 7 years old. See my dad come home, black eye, beat up. It was heartbreaking, you know. And I was angry. I wanted to hurt whoever hurt my daddy. Yeah. That's how I was. And then I saw there was a program on TV at the time called Magpie, a bit like Blue Peter.
Okay.
And I saw these kids breaking slates and doing karate, and I was like, I want to learn. And I kept asking my mum, can I? No. Every year, my mum would say, when you're older. So it got to the point where it's like, listen, I'm a big man now and I'm 16. When am I going to learn?
Yeah.
So I got a job at Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
Took my first pay packet. And I was working on the building site with my dad at the time, so I had my money. And then I took myself off to a Taekwondo class.
Okay.
And but also in that time frame, there was the Karate Kid come on TV. So this is going to what you're saying about TV.
Mr. Miyagi,
And Mr. Miyagi, I loved his humility. I loved the fact that he was able to bad up all of these bad boys and still go back to being the humble Mr. Miyagi, living a clean and humble and meager existence without, do you know what I mean? Without any extravagance, whatever, but it was this badass.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
So yes. And most people say, oh, Bruce Lee and it was Mr. Miyagi for me. Mr. Miyagi was a bad man. You get me? It was
But triggered from your father what happened to him, so in a way.
That was the trigger. That was absolutely the trigger and still is. You know, like I was welling up a little bit because that my dad, you don't do that to my dad. My dad is the best man in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, for blessing me with a wonderful father like my dad. Yeah. And then obviously my mum being quite strict, not wanting her little boy to get hurt, and you know, and I think that those lessons set the stage for what happened next. Yeah. My mum teaching me about perseverance, holding me back, and then that desire, and again, in comes the will. Yeah. I was determined. I wanted to. Yeah.
The drive.
And the first time they actually saw me doing martial arts when I went for my 3rd degree black belt, remember, Master Anasia School in Kensal Rise. And to see the pride on their face made me feel proud.
That's good.
And now they're proud of me because I didn't give up, and I still haven't given up.
Yeah.
My next step is 7th Dan.
Yeah.
And again, if you look at like the journey of a UFC fighter,
Yeah.
what does a Dan mean to anyone? It doesn't mean anything to anyone, but it means something to me.
Of course,
It marks my journey. So you going for your ultimate championship of the world and all that, it means a lot to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it won't necessarily mean anything to anyone else unless they've got some money on you and they're going to win some money. Yeah. But for me, getting my 7th team, it means I was able to stick at something, see it through. I haven't hurt anyone on my journey.
Yeah.
I've helped a lot of people along the way. I've made the most amazing friends along the way. I've stayed out of trouble along the way. So if a parent was to come back to me and say, why, I'll be telling them, no. The reason why, look at me now.
Yeah.
I was a child. I wanted to learn martial arts. And what it taught me was fighting was not the way. I have made the most amazing friends and lived the most amazing life and travelled the world. Done 2 gradings out in South Korea for my 5th and 6th Dan. These milestones, these experiences, you won't get necessarily from ending up in the... I can't say it wouldn't happen. You could be a big time UFC fighter, but that's your calling.
Yeah.
But I would say, especially for kids, give them a chance. Let them learn the discipline of the martial arts. Be a champion in life in martial arts, but not necessarily want to be beating people up.
Yeah.
Slightly
to digress from what we spoke about earlier about your father. I work with Youth Justice Service. A lot of young offenders I work with. There's a debate about having strong fathers in a man's and a girl's life as well. They've done a study in the USA that single fathers, if they're emotionally healthy and financially secured, seem to do a better job than single mothers, especially bringing up boys. And I've come across a lot of boys who are in trouble. They've never had a positive role model coming from father's side. Do you think the presence of father is quite important in a boy's life and a girl's life as well when they're growing up? Because we see a lot of broken families nowadays and children have got no direction where they're going. Because you both have children, so I'm just kind of thinking, what's your take on that as well about having fathers, positive fathers, healthy fathers, and like giving their kids direction as well to do well in life?
So I'm going to jump in on this one. So, but I believe with or without the father, communication with any child is the key.
Yeah.
I have seen some amazing people who have not had fathers in their life, be the most wonderful human beings and be the most successful people because they didn't have and because they saw their mum struggling and that made them more determined.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, the narrative is always about the ones that didn't have, but overlooks the ones that did have. And it could very well be, I don't know the statistics, I'm not going to start quoting stats, but it could very well be the status is a status quo where it's 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And sure, maybe someone can correct me, but the fact of the matter is, it is a sad state of affairs when there's broken homes, but it doesn't have to be the end.
Of course,
If both parents are at least present, I would agree that both parents should be, or ideally should be present. They don't need to be together, but they should be present and they should be communicating with their child on a daily, weekly, monthly basis and having healthy conversations.
Yeah.
That's what's really important.
You're right, actually, because kids I worked with, some of the fathers had probably passed away or they're serving time. And that's why they've never had that chance and they still get labeled, from what their fathers have done, even though they've done nothing wrong. And they get pulled into these groups of people and it's so difficult for them to come out of it. And that's why we help them. I don't work with YJS now, but I came across so many families like that. And the funny thing is, normally those big kids who are like 14, but they're big kids, when they come with their mothers for interventions, the way they behave, they're literally like...
They regress.
Completely. I can see the mom just slap him probably. Right? They're literally the mommy's boys like... But when she's not there, they just behave
big man on campus.
That's it. What's your take on Master Benfield?
No, I agree with Master Harper there as well. It's nice if if the parents are together as a unit and supportive of that child. That's what makes the difference there. And also again, it's like our role as instructors. It's like we are the positive role models for these young children when they come. So sometimes it's like, even if the parents are together, it's like sometimes like a child may find it difficult to talk to mum or dad about certain things. But because they have that level of respect and trust for us as instructors, then they tend to open up. And as the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child.
Course,
so we are proud to be part of that village to help these children through those difficult times or challenging times, because everybody needs a helping hand from time to time. And so if both parents are together, great. If they're not together, they can still do the best for their child. Because think about the bigger picture. And remember, like life, if life brings you to it, life will bring you through it. So everything happens for a reason. And so we just have to understand why. Maybe the parents were together for a time and they had this experience and now they had to separate. But out of that union that they had, maybe a child came. And so now the child is the product of their love. So that love should still be poured back into that child there.
Or they could be two unhealthy parents still together. And the child, like,
very toxic relationship.
Very toxic.
Exactly.
And that's not good for them either.
No,
Definitely not.
So it's not always
absolutely
true.
But you're right. You always focus on the cases you get, and you start thinking, okay, I've seen now 5 families with no fathers. So you kind of generalize, okay, this must be it then, rather than focusing on all those mothers who've raised their children so well and they've done well. So, it's Obama was, I think, a single mom child as well. He was the only child. He became the president of USA.
Wow.
So if you look at that side of it, the extreme side of it, you can achieve
and especially growing up in that era and that time, with all the odds stacked against you, shouldn't have happened, but prove that it doesn't have to be that way. And like Master Banfield said as well, what's really flattering is when you have the fathers of the children, especially boys, say to you, "You are the other dad." And it's like I felt uncomfortable initially. Like they would say, "No, sir, when you have my permission to tell them off. You are, you're my understudy almost." And even like obviously mums are coming to you and say, "Yeah, can you talk to them?" They listen to you, that kind of thing. So the role of a martial arts instructor in a child's life is so important.
Absolutely.
And it's not a sales pitch. It's not something. I know, I mean, you've got your football coaches, but they're focused on football. And I'm not to say that they don't bring morals into it. There might be some very good coaches out there that will talk about that. But I find like with any combative discipline, the teaching from the instructor will be about respect, listening to your parents, listening to your children, your instructors, and doing well in school and doing well in life.
Absolutely.
And that might be I'm generalizing. Yes, you are going to have some bad instructors and what have you, but for the ones that I've interacted with and know of, it doesn't matter what style. That is generally the key. The key message there. You
and my instructors. I mean, you had so many students when we were in our 20s and stuff, learning from you. Some have moved on, have their own schools and stuff like that. I'm today talking here. Normally, when I'm facing you guys, I'm grading, hoping for an A+. But it's like because of you guys, I'm here today having a chat with you guys, and I didn't know much about your families because we always talk in instructor to help us to improve our lives. We've never asked you what you may be going through in your lives. So no matter what you're going through, you still come there on every day, every week, and you teach us and you just go home and you help us. But as I grew older, I said, well, they probably have problems as well, but they never show it. They never talk about it, which is kind of quite nice because a lot of people will probably open up and share their problems while someone's opening up to you. So I think that has made you great instructors, and you've also brought up some students like your family, and they've done well in their lives. And one being me in a way. I'm not financially millionaire, but my journey has been through coaching and working with people, medical condition clients, youth justice service, all the stuff. There was a seed planted again from you guys, learning from you guys, and also family members as well. So thank you to you both anyway. So
we are family at the highest possible level if you look at it like this, because to be family, you don't have to be blood related. And then if you take it to a level higher, you've got to think of it like this, because this I feel will help us to progress as human beings. Really, is that, and this is no disrespect to parents or to mothers anyhow, is that you are not your mother's child.
Yeah.
You came, so here's the difference. You came through your mother.
Yeah.
But where did you come from?
Yeah.
The same source that you came from is the same source that
Yeah.
Master Harper, myself, and everybody else has come from. So we are family ultimately. And that's why when our students come to us, these are our martial art families.
Yeah.
When I see like our students getting hurt, having difficulties, trouble, bullying at school, you're hurting my child.
Yeah.
And so any parent will do what is right to protect that child.
Yeah.
Any parent will do the thing to guide and to raise their child to the best of their abilities. And that's how we feel. I remember like as an instructor, when we first started teaching my school, when I lost my first student, it was like I lost my first child had gone. And you feel it hard, you do, because you love. You have that love there.
Yeah.
Not this, oh, you're my boyfriend, girlfriend love, but this love, this
of
unconditional love.
Yeah.
You want the best for that child, the well-being of that child. You want that there for them. And that's what we feel as that's what we feel as instructors when we meet. And even when we haven't seen our students for a long time, when we meet them after, it's just like, son's home, daughter's home, dad's home. It's just like that. And we just come together as one.
You're right there, so because when I first started teaching, I didn't think anyone would ever quit. Because I didn't quit, so why would you quit? But you soon learn that as they quit, they go on to do other things, but they stop doing, they stop training or learning with you. But what's beautiful is when you meet them as adults, young adults in their 20s and 30s, and they tell you, I never forgot what you taught me, like what you're saying to me now. You know, I never forgot what you taught me. That means that your journey was worth it. You cannot, you see, when you talk about success, that's success. You can't measure success against a stack of cash, how many houses or cars. That's things.
The intrinsic reward,
But inside, success is seeing your fellow human being doing well in life. And then also passing on that baton to the next generation. For me, that's my definition of success. If I can help improve the life of someone else just by a simple action like teaching, just being there and there to listen to. My problems is not your problems. My problems is my problem. I will deal with it myself. I'm your instructor. I'm here to help, and in actual fact, by me helping you, actually helps me. Because it might be you have a problem that I'm going through as well, and I'm thinking, how do I get through this? And me giving you, because we're all great advice, aren't we? We're all great. We're all brilliant giving advice, but we're not all great at taking it. Until you start giving that person advice, hold on. Maybe I should take a bit of my own medicine, because the doctor never likes to take some of his own medicine, does he?
Isn't that bright, sir? But we teach what we have to learn. True. That's the beauty of it. And actually, and the students come to that. They come to us for that opportunity. So we may think we're doing something for them, and hopefully we are, but really they're bringing a great opportunity for our own personal development as well. So I'd say to my students, every lesson, it's not just you that's learning. I'm learning as well. Every session, it doesn't matter how old we get. We know this. Every day we learn something new.
Absolutely,
It's a little thing. We learn something new about human behaviour, about the way, or to handle the behaviour of others and what have you. So, I know that doing martial arts or training people is my calling. It's my thing, because I enjoy doing it. It enriches and fulfills my soul. So to be able to still do it after all these years, I feel like I'm successful in that sense.
And it's nice because it's like without the student who is the instructor. So the student helps really define the instructor and refine the instructor as well.
That's great.
So, it's nice to know that we and look at this, you've got your podcast going on and stuff like that. And who knew that? I mean, and let's put this right. You are directly Master Bamfield's student. But we share the response because we used to demo team and stuff like that.
I used to train 6 days a week, different schools. Every day, the dance works in.
Wow. Oh, my God. Jeez, that's going back some, right?
Going back. Mr. Hedgehog's school as well, somewhere in Finchley. We used to go there, Mr. Hastiani, all of us, just every day training. It was completely... Because we loved it. We loved it. And there's no one fighting there, anyone, but we just go there, kick, punch, and enjoy ourselves, enjoy each other's company. And, the company you keep
is so important. It's so important.
And what's nice is even like in my life of teaching as an instructor, there's certain individuals that you remember, and you're actually one individual that I remember when we spoke on the phone. You're at Copeland High School.
Wembley High School,
Wembley
but
High
I was living in
School.
Wembley.
And I remember the conversation on the phone when we spoke about like the martial
I
arts.
had an orange or yellow leaflet through my letterbox about Choi Kwando, I think.
Right.
And I rang you,
And I remember your conversation. There's a few students that I can remember. And so, you know, there's a reason why this happens. Everything happens for a reason and it serves us. So there is a greater purpose here as to why we're all here together and why you came into my life and why I came into your life. All by design, but it's perfect.
Those years were not very good for me. I was going through some personal stuff. I never spoke about it. But this was my outlet, Choi Kwando, coming to classes. That kept me sane in a way.
Right.
And meeting people. It was horrible period I was going through. But that's why I went every day, different classes. Just didn't want to deal with those problems. But then as I grew older, I said, I have to deal with this, even though Choi Kwando is there.
It's escapism, isn't it?
That's it.
It's escapism, but it's escaping to a very, very safe
This is it.
space where you know that you are going to meet like-minded people. That's the water you're giving me, so isn't it?
There's something in it.
You meet like-minded people. In a safe environment where you know you're not going to get battered. You can train every day. You can enjoy yourself. You can feel good about yourself. So,
And lifelong friends I've made from them as well. So,
absolutely. And funny enough, that was one of the striking contrasts between Taekwondo when we were training and Choi Kwando.
Wasn't it?
It was like in Taekwondo, like it was very, very kind of competitive because the whole setup was around sparring. And so you wouldn't even tell your best friend all your sparring techniques and stuff because those were your kind of superpowers or special moves that you needed if you were going to use for sparring. But in Choi Kwando, it was very different. It was very open. And I remember like the first time when we went to Atlanta, 1989, we went, and then we were young boys there. And then there were much older men there. But to see how they were so open and willing and receptive, and they wanted us to do well, and they weren't holding back anything at all. They just, look, let me help you progress, let me help you become better. And that was a real eye-opener. And that was something beautiful that I feel Grandmaster Choi created in the art like that. That it was about the progression of the individual, maybe the development of the soul like that as well.
Excellent point, sir, because we didn't travel. I wouldn't have gone to necessarily like Roger Koo's school or whoever else was teaching at the time. We would have circulated between Master Pereira's schools, no problem, but going outside of that ecosystem we wouldn't do. Whereas you would come over to my school and go over to that one's school. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of cross
fertilization,
crossbreeding, but the interaction between from one location to another, because you felt safe to know that you're going to learn Choi Kwando there and you're going to meet really nice people, and that made it a very safe and easy thing to do.
When you had bigger classes, I remember when you used to have like 30, 40 students. You see Master Banfield, Mr. Wright as well. Wow, this is a big class. It feels good as an instructor as well. 40 people have come to my class. We had a big dojo as well in Wembley High School. And we used to do black belt classes afterwards. It kind of very inclusive in there. And you feel open about, just talking and training. And I still miss those Monday 9 p.m. classes.
He wants that Monday 9 p.m. back.
Oh man, they're painful. When you used to hold those, when you used to teach us how to kick, and we used to hold just a side kick for like 5 minutes. And Master Ben will go to individual students to correct it. I'm saying, when is my leg going to come down?
Define the pain, because this is going out. We're told how safe Choi Kwando is. You're talking about pain, muscular pain, holding a position pain.
But that made us who we are today.
Because pain is weakness leaving the body. That's what it is.
That was fantastic. We're just standing there. But what do you think with AI and all this happening nowadays? Where is all this going to go? Training, martial arts, fitness, because there's so much information out there now. Sometimes I think we are overloaded with information, some right, some wrong. But with AI and stuff, where do you think will martial arts still exist in next 20, 30 years?
I think so, because definitely the human being is built to move, and we have to move. AI has its place, and it can maybe enhance the way in which we train.
Yeah.
It can give us some good insights into like training protocols, procedures, and stuff like that. Will it ever replace the instructor in the field, in the dojang there or dojo? I don't think so, because it can't, because the human being has a different level of consciousness. Although they can compute very, very fast and do a lot of interesting things. I don't, because you need that interaction, that heart-to-heart connection with your students, with your people, which luckily AI doesn't have, although it's very, very smart.
Of course,
and certain AI, they say, kind of can mimic human intelligence but still there's an aspect that it can't really.
I'm not a big fan of online coaching, especially one that I've got some very few clients who don't live in London. But I like the interaction one-on-one, because it's just something different compared to online for me. It's just my personal opinion. It's some people who can't see me, I understand, but just having that presence of human being in front of you, it's completely different feeling.
You're talking about when they do online coaches, it's a business thing.
Yeah.
And obviously the COVID brought that on even more. That allowed people to continue to have an income. In actual fact, they've realised, I don't even need to be at that place. And so from a business point of view, it is a great tool because it allows you to still have your face-to-face clients and squeeze in a few more. And even if you're not, and this online thing, I haven't looked into it deeply enough, but I'm pretty sure you're actually, half the time you're not even there. You've pre-recorded.
One-on-one, different.
Pre-recorded stuff and, you know, a bit like the training apps. So, and humans are perfectly made. A human, the only way a human can make another human is the natural way. We cannot, you know, you're going to have AI and it will all be artificial. But the only way to make a perfect replica is the natural way.
Of course.
And then it takes years to develop. You will never, I'm going to go as far. I'll put my name on it. Put my name on it. You'll never be able to replace a human being for teaching you martial arts. Because of whether it's, no matter what style, no matter what style, you will need that human interaction, that experience, that knowledge. That AI will only be able to take you so far. And then the human takes the rest of the way.
Of course,
It's that human touch, isn't
it? Our job is safe. Our job is, I believe it's safe.
And as instructors, like you as a human being, you have different energies. You have an energy body about you. So when those energies come, that's what's drawing people to your school. That whether they know it or not, something maybe in the subconscious mind is drawing them to it. And what is it? Is it maybe it's the collective consciousness of the group that's there? Maybe it's the energy of the instructor, that feeling that you get. And when they talk about feelings is the language of the soul.
Sense of belonging as well.
That camaraderie.
We need that human interaction. We were locked up long enough for lockdown, and people couldn't wait to get. Obviously, I say they couldn't wait. Initially, class was very slow to start off with. And now you're seeing people coming back to class in abundance, and they need that because we need that synergy that we get off each other. You know, we've spoken about, you know, a class of 30, 40 people, and you think of the same with the church or anything else like that we need that human interaction. So as much as AI is really good, and especially from a business point of view, if you want to, you know, whatever you're doing with writing a letter or having an assistant, or that's great, that's fantastic. But it still needs you to cast your eye over it.
Of course,
to make sure it's delivering the same. So
and
AI,
second
place.
We're coming almost to an end now. If people want to contact you guys, how can they reach you, Master Banfield?
Okay, so they can find me on Facebook, Keith Banfield. On our website, www.wembleykd.co.uk. We're on Instagram as well, so Wembley CKD. And
I'll put those links also when I release the videos as well.
If they want more information about the classes, they can always telephone us the old-fashioned way.
AI will call you probably. Must happen.
And same for me. You can find me on Facebook. I also teach a fitness workout, combat fitness workout called Fight Club.
Yeah.
It's a high intensity drama-based combat
Sharper
fitness
with
work.
Harper. I love
So
that
you
name.
get sharper
Where
with
did they
Harper.
come from? How did-
One of my students, David Pennell,
Oh, yes, yeah.
okay.
he used to say sharper with Harper, and
Oh,
he
wow.
gave me that strap line,
Yeah.
and it just stuck. Do you remember David? I don't know if you
No,
remember him.
no.
But yeah, so he gave me that strap line, and it's kind of stuck.
Okay.
And I think it suits me well.
Yeah, it
'Cause
does,
it's-
yeah.
And I'll tell you why he said that, because my thing is you've got to be sharp.
Yeah.
You've got to be sharp.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got to have your wits around you. Your technique the execution of your technique has to be purposeful, has to be impactful.
Yeah.
And that's me.
Yeah.
And I like to look sharp,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe not dress sharp right now, but anyhow. But yeah, it's a part of my persona. So you'll find me on Facebook, Hugh Sharper Harper. You'll find me on Instagram, Get Sharp with Harper.
Yeah.
Also Instagram Master Harper
Yeah.
for my martial arts.
Okay.
But yeah,
There's also a fight club for kids, right?
Fight Club.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we don't do Fight Club for kids yet.
Yeah, okay.
But we do martial arts for kids.
Okay.
But for more information about Fight Club,
Yeah.
fightclub.co.uk.
Okay,
And that's
cool.
Fight Club with a K. And yes, we can talk about
Okay,
it.
okay,
This
yeah.
one, because it's with a K.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to talk about
Coach
Fight
K,
Club,
yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Thanks, guys, for coming down, and
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate your time as
Thank
well.
you for having
We
us.
should have done it for 2 hours, but
Yeah.
time
Pleasure
was not
being
enough.
here.
We
But
can always come back.
definitely, yeah. I've got an extra hour left anyway. I've got one more, so
Okay.
I'll invite you guys back again.
You may have to come
Thank you
back
so
and finish
much.
up.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for watching Confessions with Coach K. Please don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe.